Je will next speak about disc prosthesis and sacroiliac pain.
It can seem strange to speak about this smooth complication because we have seen big problems, but the problem of sacroiliac pain is, to my mind, very underestimated. What is the rationale for this topic? First, we know the factor for suboptimal result after total disc displacement. We see all of those suboptimal factors, but sacroiliac pain is a true problem. In our experience with monoblock prosthesis, the rate of facet pain is very low. We have other colleagues with the same experience, but we are facing also the problem we see with fusion regarding the sacroiliac pain. And the diagnosis is not very easy because sometimes the patient comes saying, I have still a sciatica, but it is not a true sciatica. So we know the rate of sacroiliac pain after lumbosacral fusion with what the author calls the point to pain, and this small fovea regarding the sacroiliac joint, and sometimes with small nodes, Kopman nodes in this place. And we see that we know exactly that in a lot of cases with fusion, we have this type of problem. So you will say to me, okay, we know the anatomy, sacroiliac joint is very easy to understand. We have nutation and counter-nutation. We learn this in the university with some translation. In fact, this joint is much more complex with motion, with different motion regarding three axes of motion. And it is not only nutation and counter-nutation, there are also sacral translation. And the key concept is to know that sacroiliac joint motion is that left and right sacroiliac joint are independent anatomically, but functionally they work like one single joint. And sometimes it is not very easy to understand that they may have symmetrical motion, but also asymmetrical motion. Of course, this drawing is emphasizes the movement of both of the sacroiliac joint during the gait, but it is the type of movement we have. There is also a problem regarding the anatomy. The reason why this sacroiliac joint is so sensitive, it is the junction with the muscles. And not only with the muscle, but with a lot of small nerves, small roots inside of the muscle. It explains the diffusion of the pain. And when you look at the papers of physiotherapists, you see that they pay a lot of attention on the side level muscle, and especially on the muscle stabilizing this joint. It is not so esoterical because we know that when doing rehabilitation and correct rehabilitation of the abdominal wall, we have sometimes significant improvement. So for the clinical diagnosis, all of us know this, with those groin pain, in the feeling of leg instability, sometimes also the feeling of the patient of a short leg, which seems very strange, but podologists know this. And they are also disturbed between for the changing the position between standing and sitting. They cannot sit correctly on the one side, the side of the sacroiliac joint pain. And so they have pain during transitional motion, but also during stationary position. And they have special, the patient very often have their own solution to avoid this pain with modifying their balance to avoid pressure on the sacroiliac joint. The pain diagram is now published in a lot of paper, and it is very characteristic. We have the finger to pain here, of course, but when you see this pain diagram, you see that it may be understood by the patient as a recurrent sciatica. And what very interesting location of pain also is this anterior pain. Very often they have this pain at the level of the sacroiliac projection, anterior pain, and retrotrochanteric and pseudo-sciatica. And when you look at all of the paper regarding this joint, all of the drawings are quite the same. So there are a lot of maneuver, very well known, but the literature is also very clear regarding what are the good maneuver, and we shall see this. You see that you have a distraction test, action on the tide, compression. We have those tests, not easy sometimes to reproduce because the patient is painful. But this distraction test and the tight thrust is something very efficient. And regarding the provocative test, you have here the argument. You see that if you have 3 of these tests mentioned here, so distraction, tight thrust, and compression, it is a big argument for the sacroiliac joint pain. And in some cases, it's difficult to do really the test, and so the joint injection is something very interesting. So X-ray is something also interesting because sometimes we understand immediately what is occurring with this, which can be pelvic obliquity, but it can be also what I call pelvic rotation, because on the X-ray, one of the iliac wings seems shorter, seems thinner than the other. It means that you have pelvic rotation. And this position of the iliac wing, the side of the sacroiliac joint, the iliac wing appears to be larger, which means a posterior position of the sacroiliac wing. And posturologists know this very well. So we look at the global imbalance, and as we use those monoblock prostheses. I have only the experience with the monoblock prosthesis in patients with slight rotation on the vertebra. Because we have pushed the indication in such patient. It works very well for the disc, but we had some imbalance problem to solve. Regarding the diagnosis, of course, we have the image-guided injection, and in the literature they insist on the percentage of relief. If you have less than 50% of relief, they think either it is not well done, so we must ask the radiologist to do X-ray with an opacification. But if you have more than 75% relief, all of the literature is okay to say it is a very big argument for sacroiliac joint pain. The diagnosis with facet problem is not always very easy. Here it is a diagram from a book showing the location of what is reporting regarding the facet. I was very astonished preparing this paper because you see that the facet, when you do facet block, you may solve some projected pain very distant from the sacroiliac joint. And we have also other diagnoses, the psoas muscle problem because of the anterior pain, the piriformis muscle, and the gluteus medius, and the quadratus lumborum, which radiate here also at the sacroiliac joint. It seems very strange, but the location of the radiation reported in the literature is very inferior. So I think the major problems are piriformis and iliopsoas muscle. And we know that the patient with this prosthesis, as with lumbar fusion, very often have retraction of those muscles. And the literature also insists on the myofascial trigger point. Look at this. We have a lot of pain diagram regarding the gluteus medius, regarding the other muscle. We see a lot of pain diagram mimicking sacroiliac joint. So another point is the abnormal location of the sciatic nerve regarding the piriformis muscle. Because you may do perfect disc prosthesis, and the patient has still a kind of radiation in the sciatic nerve. You don't understand why. And the literature insists on this location of the sciatic nerve, sometimes inside of the piriformis muscle, and sometimes in a very strange position regarding piriformis. So sometimes we have a true piriformis problem, or sometimes we have an associated sciatic nerve variation. So for the therapeutic management, quickly, the provocative test I have shown to you, the literature consider minimum 3 tests. Point to pain, the patient shows the location of the pain, and the pain drawing, which is a little bit, characteristic. If we have a doubt, and in the literature they say most of the time we need to do a local injection, it is my practice, we do this local injection to be sure of this. Regarding the treatment option, it's sometimes difficult. You probably have this experience regarding physiotherapy, injection, and I had no experience. I did not do any fusion of the sacroiliac joint after a disc prosthesis, but I did after lumbosacral fusion. There is something interesting, because we have seen that in some patients we have pelvic rotation. And I learned by the podologist, very interesting thing, and because now we have very precise study about the weight bearing of the patient, and we know that in a lot of sacroiliac joint we have a pelvic rotation and asymmetry of the posture of the two legs. And with those insoles, they are able to modify the pressure, and it is, in my experience, really efficient in addition to physiotherapy. So, to conclude, diagnosis can be very difficult. I think the main problem can be, of course, facet joint, but I think also this problem with the psoas and the piriformis muscle. Therapeutic management can be difficult. We need to know if the patient seems to have a sciatica, that perhaps it is not the real sciatica, but a radiation due to the sacroiliac pain. And I am convinced that we have to think about the global balance of the patient. Even if we don't have EOS, looking at plain X-ray focused on the pelvis to see if there is a pelvic rotation. It can be the solution to solve this problem of pelvic rotation. Thank you.